What's a Krabby Patty?
Why, it's only the most mouth-watering, appetizing food in the 7 seas!
There I am, Gary, there I am!
You guys, this is important. Jaiden Animations got a cat. And I, for one, am very, very scared. Labby, you know that the pussycat in this house would be very, very bad.
Oh yes, that would be a horrifying bout.
Exactly.
Mr. Laberson, I know it's scary.
But we will try and get through this video together. Mr. Laberson Bear, we will have to get through this video together. I think we can do it.
For people who have been around for a while, you might be seeing the title and thinking, Jaiden, aren't you allergic to cats?
Aren't you allergic to cats,
that,
Jaiden?
I'd say, yes. Kind of. I'm actually not sure anymore. And for the people who know anything about me,
She
you
likes
might
birds.
see the title and think, Jaiden, cats are literally the #1 natural predator to birds. And to that, I also say, yes, that one's 100% proven fact. So let me back up a bit and explain how we got here, because all the cards in the world were stacked against the idea
doesn't make sense,
of me
right, Labby?
getting a cat. Growing up, I was irrefutably and absolutely
Doesn't it not
allergic
make
to
sense,
cats.
Labby?
My best friend had like 3 of the things, and every time I would hang out or sleep over at her house, I would be a sneezy, watery-eyed, snotty mess.
It's the worst. Isn't that the worst?
I have some water. Given the fact my brother was also allergic to cats, it was set that we were a dog family. My whole life I
course.
went around not giving cats a second thought. I never had anything actually against them.
So Jaiden is a former cat hater. And I know to a lot of people who love cats, a cat hater is their worst nightmare. And I don't hate cats. I want you to know, just because I have little muffin bears does not mean I hate cats. It still makes me sad when a cat catches a mouse. It still makes me sad. But that's what they're programmed to do. They aren't programmed to protect little muffins like I apparently am. They're programmed to hunt and destroy them. I know. See, Labby's already, he doesn't like thinking about cats. You know, you're okay, buddy.
I never had anything actually against them, but since I was forced to stay 20 feet away from them or suffer the consequences, I just couldn't get to know them. Plus, as a kid, dogs were always more appealing. They're more likely to be bigger fans of playing and running around.
Playing, they do more of that.
Approachable with their genetically bred unconditional love, and can overall be more forgiving. Cut to like 2 catless decades for me later, and I'm meeting Jacob for the first time at his place.
Hi,
As we're
Jacob.
hanging out in his living room, his cat Fraser comes over and greets me.
Quick note, when I had my white hair, I didn't get compared to many people, and it didn't happen often, but a lot of people compared me to Alpha Rad, the guy she just mentioned. People said I looked like him. Not every white man who dyes their hair white looks like Alpha Rad, okay? Labby's a white boy. Does he look like Alpha Rad? He has white hair. No, he doesn't think so. He doesn't think so at all.
Fraser is extremely social and vain, so he's always expecting nothing less than a never-ending stream of attention from the people. Even though he's very cute and distinguished, I deployed my typical foolproof plan of don't touch the cat.
Yeah,
Fraser
no
realizes
cats.
he's not getting any attention out of me and sits down nearby on the couch. But a bit later, Jacob's other cat ends up making an appearance.
What?
This one's Taylor. She's normally really shy and hides, but does really like women, which I am. Taylor ended up—
That's true. Jaiden is one of those. And Labby is successfully hammocked up in my hood now. I guess I should have foreseen that this would be a thing that would happen. Labby, they don't even know you're there anymore, buddy.
Nope.
Hey, stop poking your head out. Hey, buddy. What's up, buddy?
Taylor ended up crawling onto me and making herself really comfy in my
very
womanly
sweet.
lap. Jacob, knowing I'm allergic, offered to take her away, but this was actually the first time a cat has ever done something like this to me. I've always been a bit of a cat magnet, if you want to call it that, because I act
You
like
look
they
like a
don't
cat woman.
exist, which they interpret as me not pushing their boundaries.
You
and
look like
creating
a cat
comfortable
woman.
environment
Let's-
for them to
let's
come
keep
up
it
to
real.
me on
A
their
cat
own
mom.
terms. But never have I felt like a cat has chosen me like this before. I told Jacob I'm happy to let her stay comfortable on me, and I'll just reap the consequences of my sewing later on. This was my first extremely positive experience with the cat, and I honestly felt really happy and special and wanted to enjoy it. A few hours later, I'm saying my goodbyes, and during the drive back home, I realized I was completely fine. No sneezing, no itchy eyes,
sneezing.
straight up nothing.
No
I was
allergic.
So confused.
I meant to predict this earlier. I meant to do a prediction and say she discovers hypoallergenic cats. But now she just said it and I didn't predict it. So you guys aren't gonna believe me when I say that I was gonna predict it. Anyways, Labby, buddy, can you come back? This is too much gravity. I bet this is so comfortable for him. Wait, what I was actually gonna say. I feel like a lot of people love cats, but not everyone has a positive cat experience. And the people who love cats don't understand why those people don't love cats as much as they do. Having a bond with a cat is a special experience. And I feel like unless you've had that experience happen, where a bond happens with a cat, you don't understand, you know, how much people can love cats and how much you can love cats, you know? That being said, I'm still the Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man!
No cats for me.
I was so confused and curious. Thus, the start of my little cat experiment began.
Oh,
Every time
yeah.
I went over to Jacob's place, I would let the cats be as social as they wanted with me. If Taylor wanted to sit by me, I'd let her. If Fraser wanted attention, I would pet him.
Oh,
At
yeah.
one point, while we were watching a movie, Taylor literally decided to lay down on my neck,
No
filling
way.
every one of my breaths with cat dander and hair. And you know what happened?
Nothing.
No reaction. Not even a little drip of mucus. Somehow, sometime, I'd grown out of my cat allergy and never noticed. Apparently,
Sweet.
every 7 years, people's allergies have the chance to change. Maybe being
Wow.
surrounded by my friends' cats all throughout my childhood could have helped my body get more familiar with them. Either way, I've now unlocked the skill to survive cats.
Wow.
Oh, guys, it was incredible. Now that I'd been freed from my shackles, I immediately started taking time to get to know cats more. Instantly, they felt so much
Cats
more
time.
cute and cool and approachable and it was
It's cat time. Yo, okay. It's officially cat girl summer. So basically what I'm saying is it was cat girl summer.
Hot boy,
Cat
boy summer.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Mr. Laverson.
I do not trust that you have not gone to the bathroom in my hood. I do not trust that. I'm thinking of sending you back to your realm just on the fear of that.
and cool and approachable and I was really starting to like them more, especially
Aw.
since every time I would hang out at Jacob's place, Taylor would walk over and be around me and purr and oh, it was
Purr.
amazing to be loved by a cat. So I really like cats now. And
Yeah.
after some time, I decided I wanted one too. Jacob and I decided to peruse a local cat rescues website just to
Wow.
see what cats were available. I don't want to get one right away. There's a lot I have going on, but
Get
it doesn't hurt
Nochi.
to. Oh my god, that one!
Oh
I
my
want that one
gosh.
so bad. It's so cute. What's its name? Tostada. Tostada, my beloved. We have to send in an application. We have to. Hi, my name's
Gotcha.
Jaiden. I love this cat. Please let me adopt it. Please. What?
You know what? I'm gonna keep it real. There's only one time I've gotten muffins from a breeder. Oh my gosh, dude, can you please? It was from a breeder and it was like an online thing and you had to put in an application. And I honestly think that telling them I was a YouTuber who did stuff about rats, I got picked because of that. Which I guess that kind of makes sense because I literally stand for the betterment treatment of rats around the world. Listen, if they're invading your home, I understand. You gotta get them out of there. As long as you do it ethically, you know what I'm saying? As long as you do it ethically, because look at how nice they are. They're such nice boys. Buddy, I was trying to hype up your species and you went back into the... Hello. Thank you.
Tostada, my beloved. We have to send in an application. We have to. Hi, my name's Jaiden. I love this cat. Please let me adopt it. Please.
Can they get the cat?
What? You guys know me. I'm weak-willed and impulsive. My first mistake was liking cats to begin with. The rescue
True.
reached out a few days later for a cat screening interview to make sure we would be a good fit to be cat parents. After being approved, they told us we could pick any cat
Yes.
we wanted that was in their care. Of course, I asked about Tostada, but we were given the unfortunate news that she had already been adopted. No! We looked at the other cats available on their
No
website,
Tostada?
but unfortunately, none of them really stood out to me. The rescue ended up inviting us to a little Meet the Cats event they were hosting where we could...
He's doing it, guys. Guys, you see that? He's really happy. Oh my goodness, my buddy's boggling and bruxing. My buddy's bruxing and boggling.
That means he's really happy. He wants to continue his life on Mount Colossus. To him, I'm like one of the bosses in Shadow of the Colossus. It's like he's living, or it's like Xenoblade Chronicles. He's living on a giant titan. And he's like, this is so much more fulfilling than the cage. This titan is my home now.
The rescue ended up inviting us to a little Meet the Cats event they were hosting where we could see all the cats they had up for adoption in person, which was awesome because that was actually the first time I'd ever actually seen and held a kitten before. It was amazing. But as cute and tiny as they all were, there still wasn't one that called to me. I pried Jacob away from the kittens, headed home, and we started waiting. Every day I would check the rescue's cat list to see if any new ones caught my eye. I didn't even know what I was looking for, but waited for the universe to send me my perfect cat nonetheless. One morning I refreshed the page.
No, buddy. Come on.
A tortie they found.
Oh, right. I forgot he was in my hood. I thought he was falling off of me. My brain forgot the situation I was in because I've never been in this situation before.
The page and saw one new kitten added. A tortie they found in some dumpster named Scrabble with the biggest eyes and forehead I'd seen in my life.
Oh my
Something about this bizarre little creature called to me. I messaged the rescue about Scrabble and they told me she's available, putting me in touch with Scrabble's foster parents. Every day they sent me new little pictures of kitten Scrabble, and every photo I fell more and more in love with her.
I love that.
So silly and playful, and those eyes. We got on a video call and they told me all about how big of a personality she has. Out of the 5 other kittens they were fostering, she was by far their favorite. The whole time we were talking, Scrabble was flipping around in their arms and looking at the camera with her giant orbs.
I swear we better get more Scrabble pics. That initial one, yeah, it's like this cat kind of looks like it's been reincarnated. But that's why we love them, you know? That's why we love them. I don't know if it's male or female. That's why we love Scrabble. Sometimes it's the dorkiest looking animals that are the cutest. And that's why muffins, hey buddy, can I show them what your natural facial expression is? Okay, just look up so they can see what a muffin's facial expression is. Okay, fine, if I can't get it, this is a picture of a rat's facial expression. No matter how happy they are, they look like Napoleon Dynamite. That's what I think of when I see rats. No matter how cute they look, no matter how cute they look when you look at them straight on, this dorkiness is what is underneath. Oh my gosh. And people don't realize how cute this is until they've had rats. Because once you've seen that you're adorable little creature that you just think is so cute, underneath, he ain't winning any pageants. So we'll just say that. So that's one thing that makes rats so cute is how dorky they look.
The whole time we were talking, Scrabble was flipping around in their arms and looking at the camera with her giant orbs. I left that call knowing I found my cat.
Yes!
I needed to have little kitten Scrabble. Meeting her in person only cemented it. She was shy at first, but after flinging around her worm toy, she immediately started hopping around and being the life of the party. I talked a lot to her foster parents, and they just gushed about how they wish they could keep her since they all loved her so much. Even though the rescue called her Scrabble, obviously that was more of a placeholder name. The foster parents called her Cammy, but neither of those really fit to me.
Nah, however, Scrabble.
I knew one name that I liked.
Scrabble.
Tostada. Yeah, I stole another kitten's name and pasted it on mine. So what? Big deal. Tostada's a great name. My Tostada's way more of a tostada than the other Tostada anyway. Look at her.
Bro, I loved the name Scrabble. That was so cute. Scrabble is an awesome cat name. Oh my gosh, I would have gone with Scrabble. They look like a Scrabble, you know?
Look at her. I would have left with little Tostada in my arms that moment if I could. But unfortunately, Jacob and I were going out of town for 3 million weeks and had to wait to take her home until after we came back. She was all I could think about the entire time. I was shoving Tostada photos in everyone's face every chance I got. The foster parents were sending Tostada updates every day. I was overflowing with yearning for this cat. She was growing and learning about the world without me. Take me home to my child. Literally, the moment Jacob and I landed, we drove straight from the airport to the foster home to pick her up. I could not wait. We arrived home with +1 Tostada. I couldn't believe it. I have a mammal now. And sorry, other mammal owners, but it's the best mammal in the whole wide universe. Jacob and I spent the entire day playing with her.
What did you say? What did you say? It's okay. Listen, guys, just because I'm a massive muffin lover, I would never put them as priority over another species, okay? I love all living things, particularly the highly intelligent mammals. I don't think a muffin is more valuable than a dog or a cat. They're all precious creatures. Just so you know, that is how I feel. Homies, let me also take a moment to say, if you're not subscribed to Jaiden Animations, you better do that, you absolute buffoon. If you're enjoying this video and you're not subscribed to Jaiden, that's a problem. Make sure you are supporting the original creator. You already are supporting the original creator by watching this video because they're gonna copyright claim this video and I'm gonna make no money off the work that I do. So yeah, I guess you're already supporting the original creator. If you could support me too, that would be nice. If you haven't liked, subscribed, that would be cool. And one of the best ways I think you can support me is just watch my other videos. The videos that are monetized, that I do make money off of, to support my family and little creatures like Labby. Guys, I don't use my YouTube revenue to buy anything stupid, just so you know. This is by far the most interesting room of my house. I do this because I want to support my family now and in the future. And that is why I care about asking you guys to boop like and subscribe and all that stuff. But yeah, if you like the pet videos, there's a whole playlist of pet videos that I'm gonna show you guys after. And they're a lot like this. They're just as fun and you should check them out after this. Thank you for listening to me talk, okay? Back to the video.
Jacob and I spent the entire day playing with her, letting her get used to her new surroundings. She was so cute and so tiny. Here's a video of her eating wet food with a big old tongue. As someone who's owned birds for 7 years at that point, it felt so strange to have a pet that was significantly less fragile. And also draws significantly less blood. You mean this thing can't fly up and get hit by the ceiling fan? Insane. I've had Tostada for a while now. She's 2 years old at the time of me posting this, and let me tell you, this thing has become a creature. First of all, eyes, still giant, and she never blinks. Look at this.
So cute. We need to see the real picture. We need to see the real picture. Oh my goodness. Hello, Tostada. Tostada looks like he's seen some stuff. Tostada, you've seen some.
First of all, eyes, still giant, and she never blinks. Look at this. She was sitting on my desk looking like that long enough for me to notice, get my phone out of my pocket, pull up the camera app, put the camera in her face, and take a photo. And here's like 4 more. She is also not that smart. I'm sure you could deduce that by how she looks, but this thing has a single brain cell, and it's just another version of herself up there with a joystick. Jacob and I are fully convinced she can only form a few thoughts a day, and only in single word nouns. Evidently, Tostada is also very scared of everything. Always has been. Loud noises, quiet noises, no noises, movement of any kind. Even Jacob, a person she's been around all her little life post-dumpster. There's been times where he'll be at his desk, moves his chair just a smidge, and she's darting out of the room. One time we were trying to explain to some friends how skittish she genuinely can be.
Okay, so you were hanging out with Smosh. Just say you were hanging out with Smosh. You don't need to be like, oh, some random friends who used to be the biggest YouTube channel on the entire planet. Oh, wait. Wait, no, that's not Smosh. I didn't notice this female characteristic. My apologies. Okay, it wasn't Smosh. There goes my whole joke.
How skittish she genuinely can be, and demonstrated it by grabbing a toy literally in front of her, raising it up a bit, lightly dropping it on the floor, still in front of her, and she bolted. You know how cats are genetically built to be good at balancing? Well, Tostada can't even do that. She trips and falls and misplaces her feet all the time. Goodness. On multiple occasions, she has tried to walk across my L-shaped desk and just missed and fell down. That's like the one thing that makes a cat, and nope, doesn't hit the mark there either. She's gotten better,
Falling
but
with
as
style.
Tostada couldn't even jump. After I built her first cat tower, I watched as she attempted to jump up to the second level, not quite make it, and had to slam her arms down on the thing to hoist herself up like she was mountain climbing. But oh, is she the sweetest little thing.
Yeah, honestly, I think muffins actually might be better climbers than cats. I think most people don't realize how good of climbers muffins are because they have hands. Unlike cats, dogs, bears, and foxes and all that stuff, these boys have hands with claws.
When I got a cat, I was expecting it to want its own space, come around when it wants, you know, general cat things. But this creature follows me from room to room with those high beams of hers. She sits on my lap while I'm at my computer, lays on my giant Pokemon plushes, mostly just looks up at me from the floor and just stares. When I'm sleeping, she'll just crawl into bed and tuck herself up right next to me. Look at all these photos of her.
Honestly, very brave to be uploading pictures of yourself asleep. That is a very brave thing to do. You know what? I guess that's my challenge. Is that my new challenge? See, Lola's gonna hear this and she's gonna have a field day. This is not consent. You know what? My next step in feeling strong and confident is posting a photo of myself asleep in the most vulnerable position a person can be. Kudos, Jaiden. Also, nice couch. I can tell you're a millionaire.
Look at all these photos of her straight up on me when I'm sleeping. Don't look too close though, I don't have makeup on.
Cap, you definitely have makeup on there. Okay, anyways, and here, yeah, no, you definitely do. Okay.
Bedtime is sacred to her. She loves bedtime. If I'm working late, Tostada will come into my office around 9 or 10 p.m., aka past Tostada bedtime, and just start crying, scratching on my chair, rolling around on the floor.
Aww.
It's pitiful. And if I still don't move after that, she'll go into the bedroom and drag over her string toy she always plays with. It's just so sad and pathetic. I always play string with her when she brings it over. Don't worry. But lately, she's picked up another routine habit, which is pats. Not all cats like the pats.
Not all cats like the pats.
Lives off them. It's when you just slap a cat's butt and it looks like you're hurting them, but they actually love it. However, Tostada is really particular about pats. First of all, I'm the only one allowed to give her pats. Jacob has tried and she runs away scared and offended every single time. Second, she has to receive pats on a specific spot on the floor of the closet. If I try to give her pats in like my office, she bolts to her floor spot, staring at me to continue
give me pats here.
Also, she begs to be pat every single night.
Mother
like
Jaiden.
clockwork, she'll sit like a gargoyle in front of the closet and cry pitifully until I come over there. Now, when I finally come over for pats, she'll flop on the floor and start horizontally rock climbing her way across the floor with her claws and tangle herself up in the Ethernet cables while I keep up the pats.
One of my #1 cat nightmares. One of my top 5 Robert cat nightmares, everyone. If I had a cat, I would be so scared of it chewing through wires and cables. That's bad. I don't want that. If you ask me, that's bad. I guess, honestly, muffins probably would chew Ethernet cable. Are you having a bath, buddy? Are you cleaning yourself? He's going oh yeah, he is cleaning himself. I'm seeing his head brush against. Okay, back to the house. Yeah, I guess muffins would chew Ethernet cables if I just let them on the floor, but I don't let them on the floor. That is a great way to never see your muffin again.
Tangle herself up in the Ethernet cables while I keep up the pats. You think I'm joking, but I'm very much not. This is the only way she accepts pats, and I have to give them to her every night or else she's miserable. Tostada's
it's a hard life.
So small. She's really just around me, Jacob, Taylor, and Fraser, but she loves her simple family so much.
Aww.
When Kitten Tostada first met Fraser, she was terrified of him. She'd been around other adult cats before, but she'd never seen a flat cat in her life, and she was mortified. Of course, she's since warmed up to him, and they play together and hang out all the time. They're best friends. But Tostada loves Taylor. Always has. She looks up to Taylor like a little baby sister admiring her cool, awesome older sibling.
They're homies.
Unfortunately, Taylor hates it. They literally have a SpongeBob Squidward type of sibling relationship, and Tostada
Great
is
analogy.
so oblivious to it. Taylor has annoyingly swatted at Tostada so many times just for existing around her that Tostada now thinks it's a fun little game they play and will start chasing and swatting back at Taylor happily, not understanding cat social cues. Of course, never in a way that's too far, but just enough to get on Taylor's nerves even more. Between the three of them, they all have such different little personalities and relationships to each other. It's made our lives so much more entertaining. And to anyone concerned about the birds, don't worry. I've got Ari and Tofu very separated from the cats. They're safe in their own blocked off room connected by a double door system that ensures no possible interaction between bird and cat.
I mean, not the ideal situation, having the creature that has the ability to fly in one room and then your cat has the whole house. Probably not. You know, might be better to just not have birds and a cat. Maybe those animals just for some reason are not meant to coexist in the same household, you know? But that's just me, people.
Safe in their own blocked off room connected by a double door system that ensures no possible interaction between bird and cat. If anyone is thinking about getting cats and birds as pets, it is possible, but just make sure the two are very separate, especially if you have smaller birds like conures or budgies. I'm sure there's people out there that have trained their cats to be fine around a pet bird, but to me, all it takes is one accident or attack for you to just not have a bird anymore. Plus, having the two of them takes a huge amount of time and commitment. I've said it before and I'll say it forever. I love my birds, but they do not make good pets for the very large majority of people.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I will say one room equals less bird extract that you have to clean up. But yeah, I just don't know about having birds as pets in general. If the birds are happy, that's cool. I just think, I don't know, I don't think I'd ever own a flying animal and have it in my house. Because like the one thing that they were gifted with in this world is the ability to fly. And yeah.
This segment was sponsored by PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Just kidding, no it wasn't, but they'd probably agree. With that being said, PETA's also pretty crazy, but I know we'd agree on this thing.
In terms of allergies, I do think I was originally still a little bit allergic to Tostada, ironically. When I first got her, I was sneezy and sniffling. Nothing allergy pills couldn't fix, and it never was as bad as my original cat allergy. But I think I've been growing out of that one too, because nowadays I don't have any reaction to her at all.
No problem with the Tostada.
I am building my immunity to everything.
No problem with the Tostada.
I didn't think I would make a video talking about this thing, but Tostada's just got such a funny little personality and has become such a big part of my life. She may be the description of autism, but I love her more than the world itself.
Okay, actually, maybe me and Tostada have more in common than I thought. Maybe we aren't so different after all, you and me, Tostada. See, muffins can't afford to have autism. They have to watch out for creatures like this. Natural selection took care of that with muffins a long time ago. People like me, on the other hand, did not have to run away from giant cats. So I am autistic, but I am safe. I'm ugly and I'm proud.
Is that what he calls it?
But I love her more than the world itself, and I know I'm the center of her little life too. I don't even see her as a cat. She's just a little creature that follows me around looking weird. But I love it, and I'm so glad I grew out of my cat allergy just so I can have her.
Yeah, that is sweet. That's so sweet. That is so sweet. I'm also very grateful. You know what else I'm grateful for, Labby? It's you. By the way, to anyone, this is Labby's biggest appearance ever. This is probably a good video to mention. We named him Labby because he's white with red eyes, so he looks just like a lab rat. And I've never had like an all white rat before. They always typically have cool patterns or designs. Or I have the Blonde Kings, Rocco or Ralphie Dos Nachos, or the all gray Charlie. But yes, now we have a true default skin rat. So we call him Labby. And thank you for being with me, Laberson Bear. You were so good today, buddy. I'm glad you have enjoyed your new cavernous home. I'm very scared to check what's in the hood, but let's send it off together. You should watch more of my pet videos. I think they're really, really fun. Here's a playlist of all my pet videos, okay? If you want more videos like this one, check them out, okay? And here's the playlist of times I watch Jaiden Animations. I'll see you here, I'll see you there. There's Jaiden's channel. Peace out, homies.